Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Kimanandi. Jai Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Pradgacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shri Boy Charan Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Skandiviti Founder Charyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraj Mad Bhagavatam ki, Jainitai Gauda Primanande, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Taksuranmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutkale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Ragunatan Vitam Tvam Sadivam Sadvaitam Sabhadutam Paritana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Praya Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhaviti Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nisreya Sayalokasya Dhanyam Swasthayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
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 Mukam karoti vachalam pagom langayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our morning lecture class on Srimad Bhagavatam. We continue from chapter 1, chapter 19, entitled The Appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. Yes, and today we're doing text number 12. Sukha Upavisteshu Atha Teshu Bhuyaha Krita Pranamaha Sva Chikirshitam Yat Vigyapayam Asa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Agre Vigrihita Panihi Sukho Paviste Svatate Shubhuya Krita Pranama Swachikir Yat Vignapayam Asa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Gre Bhigrihita Panihi Sukho Paviste Svatate Shubhuya Krita Pranama Swachikir Yat Vigyapayam Asa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Gre Bhigrihita Panihi Sukho Paviste Svatate Shubhuya Krita Pranama Swachikir Yat Vignapayam Asa Vivikta Cheta Upastito Gre Bhigrihita Panihi
Sukhopavishteshvathateshu bhuyah Krita pranama sakchikirsitam yat Vigyapayamasa vivikta cheta Upasthito agre abhigrihita panihi
सुखोपविष्टत्वार्थतेषु भूयः
सुखोपविष्टेषु अर्थेषु भूयः
कृता प्रणामा स्वचिकीर्षितां यात्
कृता प्रणामा स्वचिकीर्षितं यत्
विज्ञापयामास विवेकचेता
विज्ञापयामास विविक्तचेता
उपास्थितो गृहीतपाणिः
उपस्थितो
गृहीतपाणिः
Sukha
सुख
happily upavisteshu
उपविष्टेषु
all sitting down
all sitting down
atha thereupon teshu
तेषु
unto them
unto them
the visitors bhuyah
भूयः
again krita pranamah
कृतप्रणामः
having offered obeisances
having offered obeisances
swa his own sikir sitam
Kirchitam
decision of fasting
season of fasting
yat who vignapayam
ज्ञापयम्
asa submitted
submitted
viviktachetah
viviktachetah
one whose mind is detached
one whose mind is detached
from worldly affairs
from worldly affairs
upastitah
upasthitah
being present
being present
agre before them abhigrihita panihi
abhigrihitapani
humbly with folded hands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Kindly repeat after me. After all the rishis and others
all the rishis and others
had seated themselves comfortably,
seated themselves comfortably
the king,
The king,
humbly standing before them
humbly standing before them
with folded hands,
with
folded hands
told them of his decision
told them of his decision
to fast until death.
to fast until death.
Purport. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaj Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities, even up to the last days of his life. Translation again. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. So this is the unfolding scene Parikshit Maharaj is surrounded by, there must have been hundreds, maybe thousands of both kings and saintly persons assembled on the banks of the Ganges. After all, Parikshit Maharaj was well known. He had been ruling for how many years? We were discussing last time. 60? Approximately 60 years. So he was well known, and therefore so many great personalities assemble. So here, of course, we get more clear understanding of some of the very essential principles that make up Vedic culture, especially in terms of monarchy. The system of monarchy is the prescribed system of governance in the Vedic culture. And anyone who takes a little bit of time to look at the kind of training that one would get, it is there actually in the Shastra, one can understand that actually it would take many, many years to train someone as a very qualified. And the Pandavas went away when they were young boys. They came back when they were adults, young men, actually. So one of the very fundamental principles, which is being mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada, is that kings were trained to be submissive. Everyone is meant to be actually submissive and to follow the rules and the laws established in the kingdom, which are under the direct supervision of the king or the monarch. But that person understands the need and the importance of consulting. Here, Prabhupada makes a very important point also. It's not only for kings, for all of us. Whenever we make some major decision, it is always good to consult with others, because very often major decisions are irreversible. So if one makes the wrong decision, then there will be bad consequences. So here, of course, a major decision taken by Parikshit Maharaj was to fast until death. This is a practice, a bona fide practice, which we find mentioned in various purports, actually, of the Bhagavatam, various examples, that in the natural sequence, as the body ages, and when the body is no longer able to properly function, then the natural and expected and bona fide system of leaving the body is simply to fast. When one can no longer digest, nowadays they have all kinds of ways and systems to inject food through the veins or through the body in so many ways. Food is meant to come one in the mouth, not in other ways. So fasting is the Vedic bona fide system of preparing oneself to leave the body. We have seen this also in the example of Srila Prabhupada, who in the last months of his physical presence, when the body was no longer functioning properly, practically, well, there was a whole very big lila regarding that, which I'm sure some devotees will be elaborating, since the month of Kartik is that period when Srila Prabhupada actually left his body. There was a lot of naturally anxiety on the part of the main, of all of his disciples, but especially those who were very close and who were with him in Vrindavan. And so there was a whole argument, not exactly argument, but back and forth between Srila Prabhupada and his senior most disciples to stay or not to stay. And the devotees were arguing with Srila Prabhupada, you have a direct connection with Krishna. You could just ask him, can I stay a little longer? He'll let you stay. That was a wooden mentality on the part of the devotees. Prabhupada was trying to explain, well, the body, he had told the devotees many times before, he had tried to prepare his, practically like children, that at advanced age, I can leave this body anytime. So at there was a turning point. Actually, everyone, naturally, in those days, because Srila Prabhupada was everyone's, we could say, was on everyone's mind, and everyone was always eager to receive various news and information. So everyone knew and understood the very difficult and precarious condition in which Srila Prabhupada was. And devotees were, the senior most devotees were trying to persuade Srila Prabhupada, no, you cannot leave, because we're just too young and there's so many things left to be done. At one particular point, because the devotees were pleading, that's all recorded actually, very intense kind of lila. Then at one particular time, Prabhupada said, okay, I'll stay. The devotees jumped to the roof practically. And then he said, but if you want me to stay, then you have to feed me. Because Prabhupada had been fasting. So, although he really could not eat, but this, he started to accept food. Up until then, he was very reluctant, and he had, for many months actually, maybe sipping a little bit on a little bit of milk or juice or something like that. And we have all seen how his body was extremely frail, especially after coming back from London. I mean, very, very weak. Prabhupada could not walk by himself, etc. like that. But when that news of Prabhupada's, yes, I'll stay, that went like a flash around the around the planet, in all of the temples, and it was like a new life was brought, you know, and so everyone was completely convinced that Prabhupada is going to stay, he's going to stay. But then Krishna had, uh, Prabhupada did stay for a short time, but it was a very short time. And of course, because I don't know the exact day where he, that whole, maybe not more than a few months, actually. That's why when actually that news came, when that final news came that Prabhupada, had left, some devotees could not believe it. But Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said he would stay. And so fasting, as here Parikshit Maharaj is informing all of the great personalities who are present of this major decision. It's a major decision to fast, and he's consulting. It is one of the. It's called, referred to by Chandika Pandit, gives a series of, he calls it 7 constituents, 7 aspects that are essential for a kingdom to actually succeed or to be to prosper. And one of them, of course, is that the first one that is listed is having a qualified king, like Parikshit Maharaj, someone who clearly understands and molds his life around upholding the principles of dharma. That's the foremost, we could say, meditation of Vedic kings. They will rule, they will make major decisions, they will govern based on established principles of dharma. Not, as Prabhupada mentions here, it's called irresponsible dictators, which is what we have. If one doesn't follow dharma, then he's likely to be an irresponsible dictator. So Parikshit Maharaj showed by proper example. He was from his very birth very qualified personality. So he was that is the first. The second is connected with what is taking place here in terms of surrounding oneself by individuals who can actually give some good advice. So the second is minister. Some of the ministers were like pundits, were well learned, well versed in the Shastra. Actually, it mentions how when a king needs to establish a new village, in the Vedic times there are, guidelines for everything. It's like villages, there are different sizes of villages, and then when a village grows up to a certain number, then you just don't amalgamate all villages together as we do in modern day society and make a town or a city. but you start another village some distance away, etc., like that. And so the king would go with his entourage, and some of them would be, yeah, ministers who are well versed in Shastra, and all was decided based on ultimately different principles of dharma. Everything. That's the special feature of the Vedic culture. A whole life from morning till evening is meant to be based or molded on the principles of dharma. So, like this, Parishit Maharaj is showing proper example. He is making this very major decision, but wants to hear also the opinion. And this will be narrated actually in the pages to come as well. Yeah. So it's a little bit continuing what was mentioned yesterday about the importance of the Vedic culture of bowing down. So here again, in the same mood and mentality, he is in front of all of these great personalities, folding his hands and requesting, sharing with them his situation about fasting till death, and then he will be hearing from them. So we can continue unless there's some comment or question.
Maharaj, I tried to find the source of Srila Prabhupada's translation, fasting to death.
Yes.
And I didn't find it. I understood that Parishit Maharaj have a strong decision not to counteract this course. That means accepted. He have only 7 days.
Yes.
And he went to the bank of the Ganga, means he accepted in the different renounced order.
Yes.
This fasting is a symbolic, how to say, part of his renouncement, or some other important reason why Prabhupada put it in the translation, or this this situation is not clear for him what to do in these 7 days, and that's why he's presenting his case to the coming to the sages, which they were not there before. They came to him,
right,
actually. So he was, I think, he was amazed that it's not just I'm sitting down and I'm meditating, but someone very great personalities came to him. So can you say some words about what you think in this?
Well, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions about becoming detached. You know, it's like we fast on Ekadasi, and we're now in the month of Kartik. Fasting is a very prominent. Fasting is a bona fide authorized practice, which which is connected with the whole idea of, you know, vairagya, detachment, because our problem in the material world is that we are attached in so many different ways, and it's like some people are very attached. Well, I suppose we're all attached to different degrees to eating. I mean, the body needs, of course, food, but you know, we are warned in the Shastra about overeating, and so when we regulate our eating, and especially fasting, is both a practice not only to regulate our eating, but also it's a form of tapasya, austerity, which helps us to become actually detached. That's one aspect. Other aspect is that when, just like on Ekadasis, we fast from grains. So fasting from grains, uh, actually facilitates one's spiritual practice. Mm. When we take grains, actually, there's more energy required to actually digest these grains. So when we are eating, like some people are, you know, there are different types of, there are vegetarians, there are fruitarians. You know fruitarians? They take only fruit, you know. And then there are, I think it became a fad, maybe there are breatharians.
They only breathe and they look on sun.
Yes, breatharians. You can look it up. Mr. Google will tell you all about breatharians. I mean, yogis.
I mean, Dhruv Maharaj has.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not new. What's new is that some common people are taking that up, and it can be very dangerous. It can be deadly, actually. And I'm sure it has been.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that this fasting is a kind of voluntary suicide. And Dhruva Maharaj fasting was not the same.
Dhruva Maharaj is
Yeah.
fasting.
When
He
Dhruv
didn't
Maharaj
wanted
was
to
stopping, like
die.
Oh,
eating,
okay, yeah,
then
right.
he stopped.
He was really doing what you mentioned, doing tapasya to have a clear mind and have kind of offering for the Lord, to appear, to have darshan for the Lord. He wanted a big kingdom. He didn't want to die by fasting. Also, it was very serious fasting, but Maharaj wanted to die.
He wanted to actually.
So that's different. The intention is quite opposite. One want a great kingdom, one want to just.
But here
live.
also intention is clear.
Huh?
Here also intention is clear. Intention is clear here.
Yeah, he want to die by fasting.
No. He wants to prepare himself. What is the best way? That question will be there. What is the best way to actually leave the body? Because he knows that he's destined to die. He's been cursed, isn't it? So it's just like when one realizes that, well, okay, my body doesn't function anymore. I cannot digest. What's the use of just trying to pump in things or through different artificial mechanical means? So fasting is a bona fide process to actually leave the body, and that fasting helps to prepare our consciousness, isn't it? It's not just fasting for the sake of dying. It's fasting. I gave the example. I mean, Shastra gives the example of Ekadasi, and then like during Kartik, there are different prescribed fasting methods. Some of them are more severe than others.
From Dashmi, Ekadashi, Dwadashi.
Yeah, but the whole purpose is to actually help one's consciousness, prepare one's consciousness to be more, purified and prepared to actually, well, in this case, to leave the body. When we fast, unless we're at the tail end of our life, we fast, to purify the body and also to purify our consciousness. Here, this is a unique situation where Parikshit Maharaj, he knows he's going to leave this body, so he just wants to prepare himself. And this will be the question being asked here. he's going to be consulting with these great personalities. What's the best way? I am destined to die in 7 days. How can I best prepare myself to leave this body? Right. And of course, you know, you don't go to Sunday feast, before you leave your body.
That's another philosophy.
Yeah, right.
Drink and be merry.
Right. Of course, taking prasadam is okay, but there are purports in the Bhagavatam. I've read some purports, and I'm sure others have as well, where Prabhupada explains the bona fide process of fasting when the body is no longer functional. Yeah. So we should not equate this to voluntary suicide. That's different.
Right.
Yeah, we're not promoting suicide.
Right.
Vedic culture does not promote suicide.
Actually, this is the most natural process. I'm just relating it to the other living entities. Almost all living entities, when they are in the last phase of their life,
Animals do that.
they
No.
stop.
Yeah.
And that's how we actually know that they will stop eating and then they'll start drinking also. And then actually we basically know that, okay, how many days are left or what is left.
Right.
So this is kind of something very natural, and probably, that's why Srila Prabhupada also in his own personal example shown it. And then what is, how to say, additional to that is that preparing oneself by the question what is given, what I should do, because now I'm heading towards. So what should be for that person? So that's more like in the human consciousness that animals cannot do.
Right.
Apart from what in the dham,
Right.
they listen. Like we have got the opportunity. We have got cows and all other animals. They will listen to 3, 6, 10, sometimes 20, sometimes 100. The last cow left 106 days continuously hearing Srila Prabhupada, having all the waters of Ganga, Yamuna, and Radhakund. And then he left.
Yeah.
So that was another preparation. So here, this is what my understanding is. The natural
Few
process.
verses after that, it is written Praya Upavishti. He sat down to fast.
It says he firmly sat down.
Firmly.
He firmly sat down
Right.
with a decision to fast.
And basically he actually presented that his decision.
Yes.
So
Then the question is, how can I best prepare myself?
What should be done?
And there were, that's upcoming.
Bhagavatam.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So that means, in general way, for a Vanaprastha, if any change he want to do, serious change, want to do in his spiritual practice, should be authorized also. Not just I go and do fasting or do 64 rounds or something. Always any big changes which intend to get further benefiction, further advancement should be authorized. So Vanaprastha should have someone who is around the person and gives authorization for decisions.
not only vanaprasthas, brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis also. All of us, we follow that same principle, especially in matters of major decisions, of getting blessings from.
Yeah, but when you are living in a grihastha life and you leave your grihastha life, actually you leave your guru also, because gurus are around that place.
We never.
It's not, it's not you give up, but physically we will not meet regularly as a grihastha could have their spiritual leader near to them. So I think that's a great change for a person who, for example, I came here to Mayapur and all my authorities left in my country actually.
Right.
So I have to find another authority, or I have to keep somehow the contact with the previous authorities.
No, but we have in our Vedic culture and practice we have Vapu and Vani. So Vani, even though physically our authorities may not be close by, their instructions are there. And nowadays with modern technology, we can consult more easily. Let's say even with someone who is on the other side of the ocean or whatever, isn't it? Yeah. So physically, we may be actually that's the case. Even grihastas, unless there's a special situation that you're from, for example, because in Krishna Valley, the devotees are there living with their guru, which is very rare. Most grihastas don't live with their guru. Um, and most grihastas probably don't have much opportunity to even physically interact with their spiritual master. And I think that's not unique for devotees, within our society. That was there. I mean, Prahlad Maharaj. I mean, Narada Muni. He just heard from. It's okay. Hey, sit down. It's transcendental sound. Prabhupada was in anxiety in Los Angeles when he didn't hear the sound of the printing press. Let the printing press sound, yeah. So I think in history also, rare were those who were having that constant, regular physical, association and interaction with the guru. I mean, fortunate were those who even were able to receive one instruction, and on that instruction, because they took it very seriously, they molded their whole life and became successful. So nowadays, of course, through internet and so many ways, we can hear, and from other Vaishnavas as well, because it's a large international society that we are part of. So Vanaprastha should not feel lonely.
That's also connected to that I just read a very unusual email presented on the general public on this Mayapur email system, and one devotee who is in a very serious situation. He is in the country which is under the attack, and his life is naturally in danger. And he's writing to his guru, who couldn't go to that country and doesn't have time to answer because have more than 1,000 disciples. And he's very seriously thinking maybe he gives up his guru because of that. I know I don't want to judge that, but that situation is it's very sensitive.
Yeah, delicate.
So can you some words if you read that or
I've not read it.
no?
There's so many things going around.
That's little bit of also that one should actually understand the Guru Tattva, because when people think that it's a broad, I mean, I'm not like kind of explain, but I'm just for general, I'm saying that that particular thing, when people think that, oh, I am doing this email and I need a response, that is very, it's not a broad understanding of Guru. If one wants to listen to Guru, as Maharaj just mentioned, he will listen to Vani. If he wants some clarification, he will always find
Other Vaishnavas.
yes, those who he will accept and say that, okay, I heard this from the Guru, I could not understand this part. Could you please explain? Again, Tadvidit Pradipatena. So that with that mood, when people approach, they will understand. But then there is also some, many times it happens quite immature understanding. And then they start demanding from Guru. I have seen it. I mean, it's not just this. Somehow it just crossed through, so I can relate what you are saying because I just read and then I thought, okay. So it's, I think that there comes this counseling or some, association of Vaishnavas where there may be crisis, there will be crisis, and it's part of the life of a devotee, crisis and crisis and crisis. Different type of crisis. I'm not saying about situation of war and all this. These are all crises. So how, what to approach? And there comes, like Varachandra was explaining, many things out in that how you depend upon Krishna, you relate with that Krishna. So anyway,
It's always not possible for someone, every single thing to be validated.
that you cannot just always demand from one person and say that then you should have brahmachari living in the ashram. That's another scenario of a guru. But here actually there are few people or devotees, they are
Even in such
propagating that
situation-
guru has to be kind of on top. Sometimes they even demand, they say, you have taken my responsibility. Now you, I mean, demanding from the guru, you have taken my responsibility, now you
Disciples become guru.
yes, there is no
You have to do this. Why are you not answering?
Rather than giving service to Guru.
I kind of understand the emotions of that person also, and not negating and rejecting.
Right.
But the point I'm saying is that he is probably lacking the association of other Vaishnavas, which is very important. As people grow, they should start looking for association. I mean, you sit with Bharachandra Prabhu, I'll tell you, many of the questions will be just clear. No, I'm just saying that when you speak from Shastra, you'll give some understanding. Okay, you have this question, this is what written. Yesterday we were speaking about all this four pillars.
Yeah.
And then this was something new, so I immediately took it. What is Satyam? Then how it is explained in Satya, what is Daya? So different angles.
We also have, stories from Puranas where, disciple, constant association with the Guru is instructing, but because he doesn't understand the mood of the Guru, their instruction is either taken literally or whatever, they miss the point. So again, whether personal association is there or not there, instructions are received or not received, unless one is really synced with the mood of the Guru, they won't be able to get proper direction. Right? So that is,
Yeah.
the main thing is to be aligned with what the Guru wants, and automatically things will be revealed.
Yeah, one needs to also be able to find shelter in those who are representing Guru, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, all Vaishnavas, all senior Vaishnavas especially, because Shastra is teaching how Guru is one. We have so many Gurus, but Guru is one. I mean, the principles are universal principles. So if one is, I mean, yes, that's the situation now, and I'm sure was the situation in the past also. Some gurus have like thousands of disciples. They cannot all the time be giving personal attention to each and every one of their disciples. Therefore, one needs to take shelter from and guidance and instructions from other devotees. They may be God brothers, or they may not be God brothers. Anyone who is devotee and following in Guru Parampara, one can take guidance and shelter from those. Otherwise, we become, I would say, it's like not at all practical to expect that that Guru will be giving, as you rightly mentioned, sometimes disciples are very demanding on their Guru, and that is not the proper understanding. Yeah. So one should learn to take guidance, to take shelter from representatives of Guru, means anyone who is actually in Guru Parampara and who is able to maybe clarify and possibly offer some kind of moral support and assistance. Definitely, I'm not familiar with this particular case, but yes, there are many. We live in a world nowadays, especially where there are critical situations devotees find themselves in, and they definitely need to be supported, should be supported, but we should not expect that the individual spiritual master himself be physically there or always be in a position. Of course, all initiating or all, whether it's Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, they are constantly endeavoring to provide the necessary, let's say, knowledge and whatever assistance is um, needed, but this needs to be understood or seen through other agents and not just physically that particular individual himself.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Krishna. So interesting subject matter about fasting, um, and fasting in general. Of course, here is like fasting to death, so it's even more like serious subject matter that needs to be. There are um, there are references. Um, I can look up the reference that I sometime back remember reading in the Bhagavatam, where Prabhupada speaks on this type of fasting as being bona fide and part of the Vedic culture to prepare ourselves actually to leave the body. I know one devotee in Montreal, maybe a few years back, he was told by his doctor, you have terminal cancer and you have like 3 weeks. That kind of news comes sometimes. You go for just a general checkup, and then all of a sudden, it's not a general checkup. Oh, they discover something that you were not even aware of. So what he did, he went back to his country, and because most of our temples are not really equipped to look after somebody who's going to just fast. Yeah, right. And he went to his hometown, I believe, and so he that's what he did. It was like, okay, in 3 weeks or whatever, I have to leave this body. He just fasted. He fasted and left his body.
So this is a part of a conscious practice when the eating is not an enjoyment but a part of the spiritual practice. You eat when you really support your spiritual advancement, and you don't eat when it's not supporting or maybe makes more difficult. Or, for example, going to the class. I
Going
don't
to?
eat before the class.
Studying
Because
before.
then my consciousness will really reduce.
Energy goes to digest. Energy goes
Yeah.
to digest. And
Yeah. So the hunger is not so much disturbing you when you're really focusing on a spiritual topic than this kind of
Yeah.
energy.
That's why the Bhagavatam class is before breakfast.
No, we have afternoon classes. We have different situations where not early morning is not so difficult.
Right.
Not to eat before.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Definitely, when we take a meal, well, I mean, just biologically, all the energy is,
Also, individual, like somebody may be disturbed by being too hungry, not understand, so he should something eat little bit. Main thing is that you can focus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like few people have got this bile, pitta,
Right.
and they need to eat.
Yeah, we have different bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
So one has to understand that what is going to help him in his spiritual life.
I have a medical condition. I have to.
Maharaj, if there is no difference between Krishna and his prasadam, then can't we just eat our way to go back to Godhead?
They are actually eating our way.
We're all doing that every day. But some devotees have literally done that.
Some devotees have done PhD on that.
Yes, but you have to read again and regularly the nectar of instruction.
In the beginning, to go fast, we eat our way, and then after a few years, we understand that. Okay.
Prabhupada says, giving Goswami's example, eat less and sleep less.
Eat less
And
and sleep.
prasadam, eat less.
They used to,
And Kapila Muni also says, Mita Bhuk.
the 6 Goswamis used to have only chant.
What happened? No, that's Raghunath. What happens in the beginning, so that you kind of,
Fast and
when they go to fishing, they throw something in the beginning.
Get in the book.
That's a bad example. It's not a Vedic example. You're influenced by Western culture. Boo!
I'm sorry. That's called the Guru is there.
Find another example. Prabhupada actually in the beginning encouraged devotees, early devotees, to eat a lot. And Prabhupada was personally serving. And there was one devotee, Americans, they have big bodies, many of them. So one devotee, Prabhupada would be personally serving, and Prabhupada would be making chapatis in addition to so many things. And I think the record that day of that particular devotee, Prabhupada was always, more. That's part of the Vedic culture also. Take more. And unless you go like this, prasadam, won't come. So I think that devotee that day ate something like 24 chapatis. Record. I forget the exact, but it was over 20. Yeah. And Prabhupada actually in the early days in his room, you might have read it, he always kept a jar of rasgullas. Rasgulla, right. And anyone could come anytime. And I'm sure some did. But yeah. Prasadam is very important in the early beginnings. It's always important.
So many devotees became devotees because of prasadam.
Yes.
We have stories. They took prasadam. I was also actually one of them.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated that, so many
of course.
they have made for the Gauri Purnima.
Yes. Yeah. Well, many
In
devotees.
Western world, Indian prasadam. So,
Right.
See,
Yeah. Well, many devotees went. That was my case. I went to, the first time you go to a temple, it was like a love feast, Sunday feast.
Right.
So that's where you come in contact with
I got
prasadam.
the Gauri Purnima feast.
Gauri
I got
Purnima,
Gauri
right.
feast. So that was
Yeah, right. Yeah. More opulent.
You cut about Srila Prabhupada who cut the Raskulam every time. You were telling the history of.
The question is?
You were telling something about Prabhupada.
Prabhupada was keeping a container of rasgulla on his table. And he told if anyone at any time wants to have rasgulla, they can come and take. Yeah.
Wasn't it like he used to give class and then after people?
No, he would not give rasgulla after the class.
If I remember, that was the situation when Prabhupada found that devotees sneaked out to go to
Donuts.
Take sweet from the shops.
Yeah, they would.
And
Yeah.
he wanted to
Donuts, you
change
don't
it
know
up.
donuts.
Right.
Donut is a special, it's like a pastry.
Preparation, yeah.
and they specialize. Well, you know, anyone who's been in the West, so devotees. It's like we're addicted to so many things, including donuts. Yeah, so they would sneak out and take
Prabhupada replaced
donuts.
donuts to Rasul.
Yeah,
Krishna Prasad.
there's donut and do not. Do not take donuts. Yeah, right. Okay. Jai Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaura Pimanandi. Eating our way back home.
Back to Godhead.
Jadif Prabhu, where's to stop it? Just click on the cross, little sign. Okay.